episode 3, day 3. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna go with today, but I think just got a call from the wife on the way home right before I started recording this shit. I was gonna tell myself that I wasn't gonna cuss as much, but we already blew that, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to do that. I don't pay attention, but I cuss more than I thought, honestly, when I watched the video back, so it's gonna be tough. I'll try to dial it back a tad. But just get a call from the wife. She's telling me Ohio just passed a new law. They're basically going to raise the minimum salary for salary exempt employees, which basically just means, doesn't sound like that, but it just basically means anybody who's salaried and exempt from federal overtime pay, they're going to raise it. So basically, you don't just work hella hours and not get paid extra. But she currently makes 40-ish K, a little over 40K, and they're raising it in July when their fiscal year starts to 43,000 is the minimum, which doesn't sound like a lot, which would be a little bump, but not crazy, because they don't get raises barely ever they get screwed on raises. But January 1st of next year, 58 grand, which is a huge jump, like 50% almost jump in pay, which is crazy to me, but we'll see. Not getting my hopes up that she'll actually get paid that much, because I feel like the place she works for will try to squirm their way out of that one, so we'll see what happens. But the reason I bring that up, I'm not just talking about shit that's going on for me, because nobody knows who gives a shit about that, but I do that a lot too, where I say but and then fucking pause. The inflation seems like it's coming home to roost. I mean, they didn't get barely any raises over the entire COVID period. And I mean, what, inflation just came out this past month, like 3.5%. It isn't 3.5%. It's like 6%, 7%. I feel like if you just took the number the government says, probably double it, you're around safe there. So when it was 10% a year and a half ago, it was probably 20%. And over the 2 or 3 year period that COVID happened and now we're back out of it, I'd say prices in general went up probably 30%-ish. There's no way they didn't at least go up that high. If you look at individual things, gas, groceries, rent, their electric, your utility bills and stuff like that, they're all up 20-30%. Your bills are all up 20 or 30%. Car prices, house prices are up like 40%. So it's like, it's up, it's high as hell. They don't tell you. They fudge the numbers a little bit, I think is what they're doing to make it sound better. But fuck, I did it again. That raise would be, like I said, about a 50% raise, and that's to all federal employees in Ohio that are exempt from overtime, which I'm assuming is not like a couple hundred people. It's probably a couple thousand people, if not hundreds of thousands of people that technically work for the state of Ohio and are going to get paid more. So that's going to be interesting. But I mean, with inflation running so crazy, you got to pay these people, man. I started my job at 30 an hour, and now I make 37 an hour, and that's after 2 years of raises. So I've gotten solid raises each year, really solid from what I can tell. I don't know what you guys get, what anybody out there would get. I've heard like 5% raise is normally good. My raises have been like 13% and 8%. So total, I mean, it doesn't add up like that, but it's like a 23%, 24% raise from what I started at, which I'm like, damn, that's really good. So if they're about to hit some of these employees, Ohio employees, with a 50% raise, I don't know if you guys know what that means, but that just means they're going to get paid more, and then the prices are going up again more. And they're trying to slow inflation down. It's not working. They're holding the interest rates where they're at. They haven't moved them. They haven't cut them because inflation isn't going down. And then, I mean, this Ohio thing might not be the biggest thing in the world. It's not like it's the whole United States, but people are making a lot more money than they were. Interest rates are higher. Prices go up. And they can't bring the interest rate down. So then you got the same shit that's going on. I talked about in the first video, these cars, houses, super expensive, most expensive they've ever been, and the highest interest rates we've seen in a long time. most unaffordable houses you can get. Nobody can afford it. Cars, same thing. It's the same stuff. So that'll be interesting. I look at these inflation numbers. It's crazy. I mean, the easiest one I think everybody can look at is groceries and gas. Gas, honestly, I don't remember that much. I don't remember gas being. I remember at one point when, like, I don't remember if it was during COVID or before, it was like $2. But for me, gas is gas. I gotta drive down here. It does not matter. So I'm paying for the gas. Same with groceries. I mean, it sucks when it goes up, but it's just like, you gotta eat. You can't do anything about it. So you just pay it. I think it cost me about, I'm doing some finagling on the gas prices with like Kroger rewards and shit, trying to keep my gas prices down, getting like 55 cents off a gallon. If anybody wants to figure out how to do that, let me know. They might have got rid of the promotion, honestly. It might have been costing them too much money. They might have got rid of that shit, but if you want to know how, let me know. I'll try to explain it. It's not that hard. You just sign up for a credit card and use that. Use your Kroger points and all that shit. I'm sure every Kroger, every gas station that is also owned by a grocery store, Walmart, Sam's Club, all that stuff has a similar deal. But I'm using so much gas, I was like, I might as well. 55 cents off a gallon, 15-gallon tank. I'm saving $7 at least. $7 a time I fill up. I fill up my gas tank twice a week. So it's like, I'm gonna try. I mean, $14 a week, 50 weeks. It's at least, I mean, 50, 500, 600, 700. I mean, it's like $750 saved at least a year when the gas prices are what they are. And that's if I don't use extra rewards or whatever. So $700, I'm taking that all day. But the gas prices have been, I mean, I think they're like $3.30 here. And obviously it depends where you live, I'm sure. But Florida's gas prices, Cali's gas prices, New York gas prices, like through the roof. But for me, the difference between where I live at home and down here in Columbus is about the same. Columbus is always a little bit more expensive, but there's a couple more there's like a Sheetz up that I pass on the way home that's like cheapish gas. Can't beat the Kroger rewards thing though. It's killer. With groceries though, I mean, I think I said it. I think it was in the first video. I mean, at least $700 a month, $800 a month maybe for just two people. And that, I mean, we eat out a little bit, at least probably I'd say once a week, twice a week, whatever. Where we both go out, like we go out to eat on a weekend or something like that. So it's like 6 meals, dinners and lunches, and I normally just eat leftovers for lunch because there's plenty left. But I mean, $800 for groceries. You gotta pay these people more because they can't afford to fucking eat or pay their bills or drive their car. And it's like, I don't know when it isn't coming down. It obviously isn't coming down. If inflation's again 3.5%, I think a lot of people don't understand how inflation works with the way they report it year over year. It's not the easiest concept to understand. I mean, most people, if you explain it to them, they understand. It's 3.5%, which doesn't sound that bad. You go 3.5%, oh, not that bad. Well, last year it was 5% year over year at the same time, and the year before that it was 10. So really it's 10, it's 0.1 times 1.1 times 1.05 plus times 1.03, and then your actual inflation is 20% over a 3-year period. So it's not, yeah, it sounds better when you say, oh, it was 10 and now it's 5 and then it's 3. People hear the numbers going down and they're like, oh, it's getting better. No, it's just getting worse, slower. That's all it means. I'm sure most people know that, or if you're watching it, you probably know, but just in case you didn't know, that's how it works. So when they give you that number and they're like, oh, 3.5, and you're like, oh, what do they normally aim for? 2%, 3.5, that's not that bad. Well, yeah, it's all in perspective. So it's not that bad, but it's actually really bad. And I think most people will see that by looking at their grocery bill, saying, oh, what do we pay for groceries? I can't imagine if you had kids. I think I said too in my first video, we're having our first baby in September, having a little girl. And I don't think a baby eats that much food. But when I was little, when I was younger and living at my house, I mean, I had 3 siblings, 4 kids eating if you have like 4 teenagers, if you have like two teenage boys, your grocery bill's got to be $1,500 because they're mowing through food. I eat enough as it is now, and I don't eat like I used to be able to. And it's like if you had 3 kids and 2 adults, your groceries, I mean, they got to be crazy. Because like I said, I'm eating leftovers for lunch. If there's 3 kids, there is no leftovers. There's no leftovers unless you're making the biggest meals of all time. So I don't know how anybody's affording this. And I'm sure I'm still trying to get one comment from somebody else that's not me watching the video, because I've watched them once or twice each, seeing how the audio sounds in my AirPods and shit just to listen to it. But I just want to hear one person say, I just want my own bias confirmed. That's all I guess I'm really saying. But I could ask anybody. I think anybody knows. Prices are through the roof. And I'd like to hear from you guys. Are you guys getting raises like that? I feel like I've gotten really lucky. Like I said, I'm not getting my hopes up about her getting her raise, because the place she works for is suspect at best. I don't really know what they're doing. It sounds sketchy over there. But fuck, I've done it like 8 times. It's too late now. I ain't cutting shit out of here either. The inflation is too high. The prices are too high. People are getting paid more than they did. I know they are, because people have to have been getting raises. But I feel like they're not getting that kind of raise. Most people over the last 2 years are not getting a 20% raise. So you're basically just getting priced out of everything. Your job, your money you make, is now just worth 20% less than it was 2 years ago. And I only had a real job after college, like where I worked full time, 2.5 years. So I don't really, I know in the context of what I know, 2.5 years. I can see people around me, obviously. I don't think anybody in my family, my 2 little brothers are both electricians, so they get standard raises through their system because they're in a union. That's different. I don't think my mom, I don't know if she's ever fucking got a raise. Maybe cost of living adjustments where they're like, here's 25 cents, and they flick a fucking quarter at you. And be like, I hope that helps. Here's an extra $400. Your bills all went up by $5,000. Here's that. Property taxes went up. Hope that helps. So that doesn't change anything. That doesn't move the needle at all. And then there's other stuff going on. Like, I drive this car every day. I've had this car for like 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. I've put 100 miles on this car, 100,000 miles, not 100 miles, 100,000 miles on this car. And if I Kelley Blue Book it right now, which that doesn't mean somebody will pay for it at that price, but if I Kelley Blue Book it went down by like $500. How the fuck is that possible? I put I doubled the mileage almost on it. I bought it at 125. I have 221 on it right now. And you're telling me it's somehow worth the same amount I paid for it? It ain't worth the same. You see the fucking pins hold my headliner up? I ain't fixing that shit. It's not worth it. The car was only $5,500 when I bought it. But you could sell it again. You go look on Facebook Marketplace around where I'm at. Same car. People are like, give me $6,000 for the same car with less miles on it. No, it's not worth that. It can't be worth that because people aren't making enough money to make it worth that. Which I understand if somebody's willing to pay it, technically, whatever. It's worth whatever somebody will pay for it. But are people just making crazy mistakes with their money and just buying shit they can't afford? Answer, yes, obviously. I would hope anybody who's looking for something like this kind of content, I haven't figured out the YouTube algorithm yet. It's not like this is a money-only channel. But if somehow you stumble upon this shit, I'm assuming you know some of this already and you're not a complete idiot with your money. But if you are, fix it. That's your only hope. You can't be a complete idiot with your money forever. It's gonna bite you in the ass, dude. It's like, stop buying shit you can't afford. Save your money. That's basically all you can do. Invest it, save it, invest it. Looking to buy a house eventually. I'm right in the same boat with y'all. Good luck. Even where I'm at, I live, like I said, middle of nowhere. Shit's pretty cheap relative to definitely where I work. Where I work, home price $450,000, $500,000. you can buy it. There's none of the same houses because there's no subdivisions where I live, but if you built the same house, it's got to be 300, 350. And you get some land and stuff with it as well. So I don't know. I just don't know. It makes me wonder how much other people are making. I feel like it's always a sore subject. Nobody wants to talk about how much they make. Obviously, you don't want to go around work asking, because I feel like companies most of the time fucking get pissy with you about it. Really pisses them off for employees to talk about how much they make between each other, so that they can be like, "Oh, you're getting fucked." Well, sorry, we weren't supposed to tell you that. They didn't want to tell you that. They want to keep you in the dark, basically, so they can pay you as little as possible. That's fine, whatever. They're trying to make their money, I get it, but I'm trying to get paid mine, so fuck off. You gotta build those relationships with people at work, I guess, and figure out, talk to them, make friends, be close enough with them that they don't care about that. I feel like our generation, if I'm talking to people that are roughly my age, I don't know where the generation technically ends, but ideally I'm trying to aim these videos at like anybody that's like high school to like 30, 35. Because I feel like that's the same, might not be the same generation technically, but I feel like that's the same, they're in the same spot. Wherever the millennials are at, I don't know. I hear people bitch about the millennials. I don't even know who they technically are. I think they're like 40 years old now. And they can't buy houses or whatever. It's like nobody can buy houses except people that already have money or already had houses. And for the most part, those people can't even buy it because you already own a house. Your house value went up 200 grand. You sell it, you just buy another expensive ass house. I don't know how you make money out of that deal unless you move to a cheaper area, or you sell the house and go rent and hope to God the house prices come back down, and then go for that. Because that's all I can hope for, is the house prices just come down. Because I'm not paying somebody that much money. I'm not. I refuse to do it. I'll chill in my apartment until I can afford a house that's not ridiculously overpriced. I'll buy a fucking foreclosed house and fix it myself. I don't care. I'm not paying somebody that much money. Just they repainted and redid the floors and they want to charge $80,000 extra. Nah, not me. I'm not doing it. So really, I mean, that's all I really got for today, I think. Inflation's crazy. Everything's crazy. It seems like money's crazy. Oh, I remember the last thing I was going to say. Yesterday, I was talking about the Israel-Palestine thing. Today, I was listening to Timmy Pool, I think, and they brought up some poll. Granted, I don't even know where the fucking poll came from. Who cares? It doesn't matter. They asked people, obviously, all different ages, all different ranges, a couple hundred people, I'm sure. And they extrapolated to everybody, but still. They asked them, like, what their politically ranked issues were, what they care the most about. 16 options. I don't remember what 16 was. 15, Israel-Palestine. So I believe I was correct. I don't think really anybody gives a fuck about that. Not right now. It's not time to worry about that right now because, like I said, people can't afford to live. So they're not really worried about that. Number one issue, inflation. That makes sense. Not enough money coming in, all the money coming out. Going into credit card debt, can't afford your shit, lose your stuff. It hasn't hit like 2008 levels. I was 10 years old when 2008 happened, so I don't remember shit. Pretty sure my mom and my stepdad's house got technically foreclosed on because we moved, I think, in 2007. I don't know if it was part of that. I don't think it was part of that. But I don't remember anything about it. Didn't seem anything special to me. We haven't hit that point yet. People aren't losing their houses and cars yet. I've heard people getting their cars repoed, stuff like that. Cars you can't afford. Not the houses yet, though. And honestly, you don't want to hope that happens, because I don't want to. What, you want people to suffer on purpose so you can have it a little better? Obviously, nobody, I don't think, wants that. I don't want people losing their homes so that I can buy a house. So hopefully, I don't know how it happens though without that chain of events going off, basically, and people that can't afford it lose it. They have to sell it for a loss. People who then now can afford it because the price went down can buy them. I don't know how that works. Hopefully that doesn't have to happen. Somehow the prices just start coming down. But people are going to lose their jobs. People are going to lose their houses and cars. I think it's cause effect. I don't think you can do it without it. If everybody's still making better money, not good enough, I would say, to what they need to make to afford to live in most of these areas, that's gonna be the result. I feel like it's got to get worse before it gets better, type thing. And just hope you don't lose your job, I guess, and then you pray to God you don't lose your job and just save money while everything goes to shit. But I don't know. The one thing I'd like to I gotta figure out, can't do polls in the comments. Can't do that. Whenever somebody starts watching, I think the move is just, I don't even know if I'm sure the dislike button has an effect on YouTube. If you got a bunch of dislikes, it would basically show your video to nobody on purpose because nobody likes it. But if I could use the like button and dislike button as the poll, which you can't see dislikes publicly anymore, which is fucking stupid anyway, but you can see the likes, and I can see the dislikes, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, I'm going to have to dislike one of my own videos to see if I can see it pop up somewhere in the dashboard. Maybe I can use that as a poll instead. Get a little feedback out of somebody. But like I said yesterday, probably make another one tomorrow. I'm not working tomorrow, but I'll still make one. I don't even care. And yeah, if you like the video, if somebody's watching, if you like the video, leave it a like. If you dislike it, dislike it. Leave a comment and tell me why the audio sucks. Hopefully it'll be fixed tomorrow when I get the new mic. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow.